dig it up and out you go. Citrus berry, quite contrary, how does your garden grow? Far too hot, she cries in my roses, time to get up and out you go. Look around, what do you see? Pressing the ground our minds to leave. Walk around, where will you go? Seizing the earth covered up with snow. Mistress Mary, quite contrary, how does your garden grow? Oh, Miss George, you're melting the hours, still to get up and out you go. Mistress Mary, quite contrary, how does your garden grow? By the early first time it's gone, it's lost to get up, you're out, you're up, you're out, you're up, you're out you go.
Major, there's a girl in here.
Do you mean alive?
My name is Mary Lennox. Where has everyone gone? Where's my Aya?
We searched the servants' bungalow, sir. It was just one blacksnake and this girl.
Why has no one come for me?
I'm afraid there's no one left. Sorry, miss.
Bloody miracle she escaped the cholera, though God knows how. She was drinking the same water they was.
But where are my mother and father?
I'm sorry, miss.
But, sir, what are we to do with the girl? Our orders are to burn everything that might be contaminated.
To Governor's house for now. I believe there's an uncle somewhere.
Yes, sir. I'm afraid you'll have to leave that picture here, miss.
No, I will not. I'm taking it with me.
Oh, well, all right then. Come along. Can it be our dream? Surely it must seem like a frightful dream. How can this be true?
Won't her mother come?
Come, wake her up to play. Won't her father say, here's a rose for you?
There's a girl no one sees. There's a girl who's left alone. There's a heart that beats in silence for the life she's never known. For the life she's never known.
She's such a sour young thing. Perhaps if Rose had spent more time in the nursery, Mary might have learned some of her mother's pretty ways.
What a nightmare must have been for the girl, to wander up to bed in the middle of the party, then wake up the next morning with all of them dead.
Good evening, Major. I'm Mr. Craven's housekeeper. Is this the girl?
Yes, Mom. And here's her papers and the death certificates and all. Her father was captain of my regiment, and a fine man he was too. We're all very sorry.
Thank you, Major.
Yes, Mom. A pleasant journey to you, Mom.
Now, I suppose you'd like to know something about where you're going.
Would I?
Don't you care about your new home?
It doesn't matter whether I care or not.
Now, in all my years, I've never seen a child sit so still or look so old.
High on a hill sits a big old house with something wrong inside it. Spirits haunt the halls and make no effort now to hide it. What will put their souls to rest and stop their ceaseless sighing? Why do they call out children's names and speak of one who's crying?
Well, you're right not to care. Why you're being brought to Misselthwaite, I'll never know. Your uncle isn't going to trouble himself about you, that's sure and certain. He never troubles himself about anyone.
And the master hears the whispers on the stairs.
and got no good use of all his money or big place till you were married.
To my mother's sister.
Her name was Lily, and she was a sweet, pretty thing, and you'd have walked the world over to get her a blade of grass that she wanted. Nobody thought she'd marry him, but to marry him she did, and it wasn't for his money neither. And when she died...
How did she die?
It made him worse than ever. He travels most of the time now. It's his brother, Dr. Craven, who makes most of the decisions these days.
High on a hill sits a big old house with something wrong inside it. Someone died and someone's left alone and can't abide it. There in a house is a lonely man still haunted by her beauty, asking what a life can be where not remains but duty.
Is it always so ugly here?
It's the moor. Miles and miles of wild land that nothing grows on except heather and blossom bloom. Nothing lives on except wild ponies and sheep.
But what is that awful howling sound?
It's the wind blowing through the bushes. They call it a wuthering, that sound. But look there, that tiny light far across there. That'll be the gate, it will.
And the master hears the whispers of the stairways dark and still, and the spirits speak of secrets in the house upon the
Oh, for God's sake, Archie, the girl's parents are dead. She's traveled 6,000 miles to get here. You are her guardian. The least you can do is be here to greet her.
I can't, Neville. I wouldn't know what to say. I'll be in my study.
Mary Lennox, this is Dr. Craven, your uncle's brother.
How do you do?
You are to take her to her room. He doesn't want to see her.
Yes, Doctor.
It be a dream. Surely it must seem like a frightful dream. No one here she knows.
Shadows on the walls, dark and drafty halls, catch her if she falls.
Still no fear she shows.
Now this room and the next are where you live, but you mustn't expect that there'll be people to talk to you. You'll have to play about by yourself and take after yourself as well. And when you're in the house alone, don't go wandering the halls. Your uncle won't have it.
Won't have it.
Albert, please!
Rose, I really must send you and Mary away until we can get this cholera under control.
And what shall I do? Wander around the hills alone with our child while she stares at me the whole time?
She's not staring at you, Rose. She just wants to look at you. Like all the rest of us.
Good night, then.
Yes, ma'am.
There's a girl no one sees. There's a girl who's left alone. There's a heart that beats in silence for the life she's never known.
I heard someone crying. Who though could it be? Maybe it was Mother calling out, "Come see." Maybe it was Father, all alone his love grew cool. I heard someone crying. Maybe it was
I heard someone singing. Who though could it be? Maybe it was Lily calling out to me. Maybe she's not gone so far away as I've been told. I heard someone singing. Maybe it was
Me mother asked me, lassie, tell me what your lad man do before you give your heart away and make a nest and all the rest. I told me darling mother, there's something he mun do, but I'll say first how he mun look, his eyes they mun be two.
Are you my servant?
Well there, Mary Lennox, my name is Martha, and now that top I'll make the bed.
But aren't you going to dress me first?
Cannot thou dress thyself then?
In India, my eye are dressed.
Well then, it'll do their good to wait on thy celibate. 'Tis fair wonder grand folks' children don't turn out fair fools, being washed and took out to walk like they was puppies.
What is this language you speak?
Well, of course you not heard any Yorkshire living in India, have you? Mrs. Medlock said I'd have to be careful or you wouldn't understand what I was saying. But I didn't know what to expect from you either. When I heard you was coming from Bombay, I thought you'd be a solid brown, I did. But you're not brown at all. More yellow, I'd say. Oh, now, lassie, I didn't know you'd be so easy vexed. I'll help you on with your clothes this time if you like. You just pretend you're back in India, and I'm your servant, and you just give me that little yellow foot.
I'm quite all right. Thank you.
Look there, out the window. It's the moor it is, like a dull purple sea this morning. Do you like it?
I hate it.
Ah, you wait till spring then, for the moor's fair, covered in gorse and heather, and there's such a lot of fresh air. Me brother Dickon goes off and plays in the moor for hours. He's got a pony that's made friends with him, and the birds and sheep and such as eats right out of his hand.
These are not my clothes.
I miss your uncle.
These are nicer than mine.
You get these new clothes on then and wrap up warm and run out and play. That'll give you a stomach for your porridge.
But Mrs. Medlock said there was nothing out there but a big old park.
Well, maybe you'll run into our Dickon out there. Maybe he'll give you a ride on his pony. Maybe he'll...
I don't know anything about boys.
If I had a fine white horse, I'd take you for a ride today. But since I have no fine white horse inside, I'll have to stay and empty all the chamber pots and scrub the floors and such. But what's that to do on a fine white horse? It seems to me not much. If I had a wooden boat, I'd take you for a sail today. But since I have no wooden boat inside, I'll have to stay and catch and kill the mice and pluck the chickens for the cook. But what's there to do on a wooden boat but sit up straight and look, and where a boat will start to drift and float us out to sea and land us on an isle of gold. Oh dearie me. If I had a chambermaid, I'd take you out to play today. They say out there's a maze where once you enter there you stay. For certain we'd get lost and they'd come looking for our bones and find us sometime late next week and bring us tea and scones. But what if there's a clam trot a camping neath a tree? Or what if there's a pirate's cave? Oh dear, oh dear. Oh dearie me. If I wasn't so afraid, I'd take you out the door today. But talking words and tales of fairies keep me scared away. And yes, I promised not to tell what else is there, although if in the mazy I've chanced to see a garden guarded by a tree and meet a bird who speaks to thee, then come and tell my fine white horse and me. Oh, now there's Miss Medlock's bell. And I've got all this to clean up first. Can you find your way out yourself? It's down the stairs, past the ballroom.
I'll find it.
Mary Lennox, I thought thou might like to have a skipping rope to play with. Mary Lennox! Thou forgot the rope.
Who's that?
It's Mary Lennox, sir. Are you my Uncle Archibald?
Yes, I am. Good morning, child.
Are you going to be my father now?
I am your guardian, though I am a poor one for any child. I offer you...
Is this my Aunt Billy? In this picture?
Yes, it is. Where did you find this?
It was on my dresser in India. Maybe Mother put it there. I don't know.
Your mother and my Lily. Please, excuse me. Who dressed you, child?
Martha tried to, sir.
Yes, I see.
Lily, you've been dancing with that gloomy Archibald all evening.
He is just shy, Rose. I think Archie has the tenderest heart I've ever known.
Silly Lily, have you been so busy staring into his eyes that you missed the hump on his back?
Well, I do hope you'll enjoy the gardens.
But I want to know what happens to dead people.
Yes, well, quite natural you should wonder that. We bury them, we put their things away, we remember things they said to us. We speak to them sometimes, in our minds, of course.
Can they hear us?
And then, one morning, when you think you're finally over them at last, you find yourself in the ballroom again, knowing full well you've been there all night, and you draw the painful conclusion that you've been dancing with them again.
I don't understand.
Nor will you ever. They're not gone, you see. Just dead.
Is my Aunt Lily a ghost now?
Oh, why? Have you heard her?
I heard someone crying in the house last night, but I don't know anything about ghosts. Is my father a ghost now? Does everyone who dies become a ghost?
They're only a ghost if someone alive is still holding on to them.
Maybe what I heard was Mother, telling me to be good, so you'll keep me.
The house is haunted, child, day and night, but it is yours to live in as long as I am master here. I offer you my deepest sympathies on your arrival.
Did my mother have any other family?
How the cold hard ground in the spring comes round, how the seeds take hold and the ferns unfold, how the English garden grows.
Skip, skip the ladies to the master's gate. Sit, sit the ladies while the master ate. Tiptoe the children to
fly away,
their
fly along, come along, fly away home.
It's a maze that's garden, it's a maze of birds, it's a maze of
Take a left and then turning left again, how a soul can find a way. For an old man knows.
It's a maze that's garden, it's a maze of birds, it's a maze of birds.
Skip, skip the ladies, skip the ladies, skip the ladies to the master's gate. Sip, sip the ladies while the master ate. Tiptoe the chambermaid who stole their pearls. Sip, snip the gardener and cut off their curls. Good morning, Ben.
Back again today, are you? What have you been doing out there?
Just wandering around. I don't have anybody to play with and nothing to do.
Dicken's here. Why don't you go talk to him? I saw him myself not 5 minutes ago, conjuring with that stick of his.
I haven't met Dicken. I'm not even sure he exists. I think you and Martha just made him up.
Well, then I can give you a spade if you want to go and dig a little hole somewhere.
A little hole for what?
You and me are a good bit alike. We're neither of us good looking, and we're both as sour as we look.
I saw that robin again today.
Well, of course you did. It was never his liking for being meddlesome. He's the real head gardener around here, chirping at me to come see some bush needs pruning.
I know where he lives too. It's that walled garden with the tall hedge all around it, and no door. And that funny-looking tree growing out over the top of the wall. I think it's the same one my Aunt Liv is sitting in this picture. Am I right?
That's the one. That it is Missy. That was Miss Lily's garden.
Her garden? But I want to see it. Can you show me the door?
No, I can't. When she died, your Uncle Archibald locked the door, said nobody was ever to set foot in that garden again, and then he buried the key. Now the ivy's grown up over the door such that I don't even know where it is.
But aren't you worried the garden's all dead with nobody taking care of it?
Of course I am. But if I so much as set foot in there...
Well, my Uncle Archie said...
Your Uncle Archibald is gone most of the time, Missy. And who's to say what might happen if he wasn't here to stop it?
Do you believe in spirits?
Old place like this, there's more of them than there are us.
I heard that crying in the house again last night.
That could well be a spirit you heard. They're like a tall ceiling and a long hallway to swoop around it.
In India once, I saw a spirit pull a big dead snake out of a basket and make him dance.
I'm sure you think you've seen just about everything, Missy, except the inside of that garden. And you keep it that way. You hear me?
Good day, then.
Winter's on the wing, here's a fine spring morn. Coming clean through the night comes the May, I say. The winter's taken flight, sweeping dark cold air. Out to sea, spring is born, comes the day, I say. And you'll be here to see it. Stand and breathe it all the day. Stoop and feel it, stop and hear it. Spring, I say. And now the sun is climbing higher, rising fast on fire, glaring down through the gloom on the grey, I say. The sun smells the doom of the winter's rain. Ice and chill must retire, comes the day, say I. And you'll be here to see it. Stand and breathe it all the day. Stoop and feel it, stop and hear it. Spring, I say. I say, be gone, ye howling gales, be off your frosty lawns. All ye solid streams begin to thaw. Melt ye waterfalls, heart ye frozen winter walls. See now it's starting. And now the mist is high, even bright blue air, rolling clear across the moor comes the May, I say. The storm will soon be by, leaving clear blue skies, and the sun will shine, comes the day, say I. And you'll be here to see it. Stand and breathe it all the day. Stoop and feel it, stop and hear it. Spring, I say. Hello there, Mary.
Who are you?
Why, I'm Martha's brother, Dicken. I hope I didn't fright thee.
But what are you doing here?
Oh, I did fright thee. I'm sorry.
Why have I never seen you before?
Well, a body must move gentle and speak low when wild things is about.
You mean you're here all the time?
Well, when something's sick, I take a look at it, sure I do, and I find the eggs that roll off and the ponies that wander. But look here, your mother sent you a penny's worth of seeds for your garden. There's poppy and columbine by the handful.
I don't have a garden.
But don't you want one? One all of your own, I mean. Come and have a look at your seeds. Why don't you? Well, if you don't want them, I guess I'll just.
I want to go in that garden, where the robin lives.
Oh, I wasn't sure you'd seen him.
Seen him? He's done nothing but chirp at me since I got here.
Well, you must understand. He's been making his nest and he can't afford to have you interfere if you're not friendly.
How do you know that?
Well, we were just talking about you. How do you think?
He was talking to, or just to you.
What he thinks is that you're looking to build a nest too, only it looks to him like that nest would have to be pretty big.
Have you ever been in there?
Oh, but it's not mine to go into, Mary. But it could be yours, I can't say. The robin's been keeping it safe for someone, that much I know.
He has?
Same way as the ivy's grown up to hide the door. But maybe all the robin wants to know is why you want to go in there exactly. Being as he's got the safest nesting spot in all of England, he's wise to be wary.
Could you tell him I'm friendly?
I could, But what if you wanted to tell him something else, and I wasn't here? It'd be much faster if you learned to talk to him yourself.
But what could I say that he would understand?
Well, I wouldn't tell him that you're an egg eater, if you know what I mean. But do you like flying, perhaps, or bugs?
I'm afraid not.
Well, just tell him about yourself, and I'll translate into Yorkshire for you till you get the way of it. She.
I am a girl.
She is a lass, as took a greatly fancy to thee. Dost thou fear?
Thou must not fear.
She took thee on for like to vex thee. Now to the sword.
Now to the sword.
She knows the will, she mun not fright thee.
Never show me.
They're better to know her.
Show me the key.
Show her the key. She is a lass, and that right, as needs a spot where she can rest it.
I mun sit where I'll not be so thinking thoughts or feel a guessing.
Now to the sword.
Now to the sword.
She's there, be watching for the spring.
I'll not be climbing up, I'll only be calling good morning, and never will sing.
Well done, Mary.
Hilly, what are you looking for? Oh, just wait till you see it. It's the most beautiful garden I ever... Oh, and no one knows about it except for Archie, but the door is so covered over with ivy, I can never find it. Maybe it's on the other side. I'll only walk around, just like to see it for myself. If thou canst allow me visit, I'll speak low into thyself. Thou not be bothered night and day by wenches racing round. I would seem a silent dream, standing on the secret ground. I could smell the growing things, count the roses against the wall, hear thy babes when first they peck, stretch my hands if they should fall. Or if the lights all bring me seeds or worms all in around, for if thou have me for a friend, thou'll be the first I found. I am the last.
A trusty lass.
I took a greatly fancy to the cannon the show.
They're better to know her. Show her the key. Well then, I'll be off then.
But where are you going?
Oh, I can't say for sure. But if you need me before tomorrow, now that you and Robin is talking, he always knows where I am.
But aren't you going to help me look for the key?
But that's exactly why I'm leaving, Mary. My body can't find a thing in a crowd.
All right then. Bye.
And you'll be here to see it. Stand and breathe it all the day. Stop and feel it. Stop
just stopped. Archie, I'm so pleased. I finally found a suitable school for young Mary.
A school?
She needs the company of children her age, particularly after a tragedy such as she has suffered.
Well, she's practically just arrived, Neville. Does she want to leave?
This is no house for a child. What will she have to do here? Wander the halls?
As I do, you mean? Oh, what a wretched house this is. Father should have given Misselthwaite to you, Neville, not me.
You're the elder brother, Archie. It would have never occurred to me. If you continue to feel you cannot live here, then leave. You were happy once in Paris. You're still a young man. There is no reason.
Leave, Neville.
But to sit by the boy's bed night after night, hoping for a miracle.
Well, they have been known to happen.
When Lily died, I gave up my practice to care for
Neville, you have been completely faithful. I'm deeply grateful.
But I did not give up my responsibilities to you, Archie. I cannot allow you to waste your life waiting for the inevitable end. I cannot.
I'm not wasting my life, Neville. This is my life now.
Beg pardon, sir. You sent for young Mary?
Yes, come in, child. Perhaps we can manage to have a moment before this storm carries us all away. Take a chair.
Thank you, sir.
Are you well? Do they take good care of you?
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
I'm sorry. It's been so long since we've last spoken. I just seem to keep forgetting you. I intended to find you a school to go to, or...
No, please, don't send me away.
No, of course not. But perhaps you would enjoy a governess. Now that you know you've had a chance to look around, you know that there's nothing for you to do. What do you say to that?
Please don't make me have a governess, sir. There's everything for me to do here. There's so many gardens to walk around in, and so much to learn about them. Dickon gave me some seeds, and Martha gave me a skipping rope, and...
Here's a rose for you, Mary.
Yes, all right then.
Happy birthday, darling.
Play outside if you like, but is there anything you need? Some toys or books or dolls, perhaps?
Might I...
Speak up, child.
Might I have a bit of earth, sir?
A bit of earth.
Yes, sir. To plant seeds in. A garden.
Do you care about gardens so much then?
I didn't know about them in India. I was always too ill and tired, and it was too hot. I used to play at making little flower beds, sticking things in the sand. But here, I might have a real garden if you would allow it, sir.
Are you sure that there is nothing else?
No, sir.
All right then. You may have a bit of earth. Take as much earth as you want.
Thank you so much, sir.
You may leave, child.
It's much worse being back this time. Oh, the dreams, they're much more vivid, and I hear things in the hollows.
It's the girl, Archie.
I mean, Mary, but I hardly ever see her.
Because you can't see her. Because she reminds you of Lily.
No, you can't be serious.
I can see the resemblance myself. Although Lily's hair was more... You were very kind to take in the girl, but in your state, it's simply too much. If she continues to grow up here, I have no doubt that your dreams, to say the least, will become much worse.
Well, you can see the girl is lonely, Neville. But perhaps I should have more conversations with her.
I don't think that is wise, Archie.
A bit of earth.
Until you are ready to send her to a
You
school.
want a little bit
Professional
of
advice,
earth.
you
She'll
continue
plant
to
some seeds.
obey your natural instincts and avoid her.
The seeds will grow, the flowers bloom, but is their bounty what she needs?
If I could have a signature on these leases.
How can she chance to love a little bit of earth? Does she not know? The earth is old and doesn't care if one small girl wants things to grow. She needs a friend. She needs a father, brother, sister, mother's arms. She needs to laugh. She needs to dance and learn to work her girlish charms. She needs a home, the only thing she really needs I cannot give. Instead she asks a bit of love to make it
saw him happy long ago. Those eyes that gave him life and hope he'd never known. Now can he see the girl and miss those days?
She has her eyes. The girl has Lily's hazel eyes. Those eyes that closed and left me all alone. Those eyes I feel will never ever let me go. How can I see the girl who has her hazel eyes? In Lily's eyes a castle this house seemed to be, and I, her bravest knight, became my lady fair was she.
She has her eyes, she has my Lily's hazel eyes, those eyes that love my brother, never me. Those eyes that never saw me, never knew I longed to hold her close, to live and last in Lily's eyes.
Imagine me, I love her.
I long for the day she'd turn and see me standing there.
Would God had let her stay. She has my Lily's hazel eyes, those eyes that close, those eyes that close to the moon. How can I now forget that once I dared to be in love, alive and whole in Lily's eyes, in Lily's eyes.
Someone is crying, just now I heard them. Someone in this house is crying. Why won't they tell me? I know they're lying. Someone here is lost or mad. I must try to find them, beg them to stop so I can sleep. I heard someone crying. Although could it be someone in this house who no one seems to see? Someone no one seems to hear except for me. I heard someone crying. I heard someone
Get out!
Who are you?
Who are you? Are you a ghost?
No, I am not. My name is Mary Lennox. Archibald Craven is my uncle.
How do I know you're not a ghost?
I'll pinch you if you like. That'll show you how real I am. Who are you?
I am Colin. Mr. Craven is my father. I see no one and no one sees me, including my father. I am going to die.
How do you know that?
I hear everybody whispering about it. If I were to live, I may be a hunchback, but I shan't live.
Well, I've seen plenty of dead people, and you don't look like any of them.
Dead people? Where do you come from?
From India. My parents died there of the cholera. Perhaps they burned them. I don't know.
My mother died when I was born. That's why my father hates me.
He hates the garden, too.
What garden?
Oh, just a garden your mother liked. Have you always been in this bed?
Sometimes I'm taken to places by the seaside, but people stare at me, so I won't stay. And one time, a grand doctor came up from London and told me to take off this iron thing Dr. Craven made me wear and be kept out in the fresh air. But I hate fresh air and I won't be taken out.
If you don't like people to see you, would you like me to go away?
Yes, but I want you to come back first thing in the morning and tell me all about India. In the books my father gave me, I've read that elephants can swim. Have you ever seen them swim? They seem altogether too large to be swimmers to me, unless they use their ears to...
I can't come tomorrow. I have to go look for something with Dicken.
Who's Dicken?
He's Martha's brother. He's my friend.
If you go with that Dicken instead of coming here to see me, I'll have him sent away.
You can't send Dicken away.
I can do whatever I want. If I were to live, this entire place would belong to me someday, and they all know that.
You little Raja! If you send Dicken away, I will never come into this room again.
I'll make you. They'll drag you in here.
I won't even look at you. I'll stare at the floor.
You're a selfish thing.
You're more selfish than I am. You're the most selfish boy I ever saw.
I'm selfish because I'm dying.
You just say that to make people feel sorry for you. If you were a nice boy, it might be true. But you're too nasty to die.
No!
Don't go.
It's just that the storm scares me, so that if I were to go to sleep, I'm afraid I might not wake up.
Then I'll do what my ayah used to do in India. I'll pat your hand and stroke it, and sing something quite well.
And I have such terrible dreams.
I have bad dreams too. Last night I dreamt about my father. Only he had this lump on his back, like your father. And then, when he turned around, he was your father.
Some nights I dream that a round-shouldered man comes in my room on a beam of moonlight. He never says what he wants. He just sits with a book in his hand. And then I dreamed that the round-shouldered man took me off on a ride through the moors by moonlight. He never says where we'll go. We just ride across the hills till dawn. And some night I'm going to ask him, is the night sky black or blue? I know the answers in his book of all that's good and true.
It's no wonder you have such bad dreams. The shadows in this room are so strange.
And once I dreamed that the round-shouldered man took my hand and we walked through a secret garden. I heard my father speak my name as we sat in the crook of a broken tree. And some night I think you should ask him how the old moon turns to new. I know the answers in his book of all that's good and true. I'm sure the answers in his book of all that's good and true.
Colin, I just realized we're cousins.
Mary Lennox!
I was afraid of something like this.
Oh no, I don't
He
want
must
to!
have been stressed if she has been.
But I've never seen him
How
before!
can I succeed if my orders are not followed?
I told her to stay in the room, but she refuses to obey. Get away from me! Don't touch me now! Albert, I only wanted him to stop crying. What is that infernal wailing?
The servants rose.
Do you see what you've done?
Color is quite bad. 10,000 dead at last count.
Mary Lennox, you listen to me. Can you see what you've done?
I should have sent you and Mary away while there was still time.
You're never to see Colin again.
That's why! It's exactly what they deserve, letting their sewage run in the streets.
But how are we to get around with all the dead in friggin' flames?
They're servants, darling. There are millions of them.
Do you want to speak to her, Doctor?
No!
I wonder if I might have a glass of water.
But why didn't you tell me he was here?
Albert, I'm very warm.
Because I was ordered not to, and I obey my orders in this house because I want to keep my place, and I advise you do the same.
Mary!
your garden grow? Far too hot, she cried, see my rose has died. Dig it up and out you go.
Mistress Mary, quite contrary, how does your garden grow?
It's a maze, this garden, it's a maze of ways. Something wrong inside it. It's a maze, this garden, it's a maze of ways. Frost rabbits go on, passing on, it's a maze, this garden, it's a maze, this garden, it's a maze, this garden, it's a maze of ways. It's a maze, this garden, it's a maze of ways, meant to lead its soul astray.
ghost, it's a big old house with something wrong inside. Spirits haunt the halls and make no effort now to hide it. And the master hears the whispers on stairways dark and still, and the spirits speak of secrets in the house upon the
Archie, you must tell me what we are to do with Mary. She goes where she wants, she does what she wants to do. I cannot hope to succeed with Colin's treatment if she is allowed to sneak into his room every night and disturb him. You must send her away before she undoes everything we have tried to do.
I can't send her away, Neville. She has no one left on the earth but me. Can't you just keep her outside or something? She likes the gardens, I believe.
What are you doing, Archie?
I'm leaving, Neville. You have things well in hand here.
Well in hand? Haven't you heard anything I've just said?
And last night, I dreamed I walked through the garden and I saw Lily and Mary standing there. Mary standing there in Lily's garden. I turned away. I couldn't watch. I was afraid.
Why won't he say what he wants? Why must he speak in dreams? Why can't he know what he wants to disappear? It seems he should send this haunted girl far away, leave the house that lands to me.
I watched them walk around the garden. She stood tall, grown strong and bold. Then they turned to ask my pardon. I couldn't speak, my heart groaned.
Why can't he see what he wants? He wants the past undone. Why can't he know what he wants? His losing battles won. To have never loved her, never known how complete a loss can be. If she could disappear, he'd start again. He could be happy, then he'd live like other men. Just to disappear is to be free, cut off from pain and loss, loving like me.
You can't marry this Archibald. He's a gloomy, miserable cripple who hides away in that horrible house. I can't believe you love him, and neither can I. No one is asking for your approval, Rose. You don't care what happens to yourself. Think about the children. Do you want them to be crippled as well? I will marry him.
I can arrange what he wants. He's left it all to me. Now we can have what he wants. Unfettered he will be. Set him free to wander through the world. Let him go his lonely way.
And I longed to join them, know the peace they felt, the jolly time. Then I was home with it, knew I must wander on, and I go
Just to disappear is to be free. Cut off from pain.
cut off from pain, cut off from pain, disappear again.
Like a life behind me. Just to disappear is to be
I shan't be gone long, perhaps just till autumn.
And Mary?
I'll write her a letter from Paris.
You wouldn't be sending Mary away, Archie. Only giving her the education she deserves. I'm quite certain that Albert and Rose wouldn't want Mary to grow up just wandering around.
Yes, I see. Perhaps you should look into a few schools. Someplace she could learn to sing would be pleasant. I'll leave it in your hands, Neville. I'll just go looking on Colin and...
You just see that you don't wake.
In 10 years, have I once woken the boy?
I'll gather the staff so you can say
Oh,
goodbye.
for God's sake, Neville! Can't you just let me slip away? I'm sorry. Just tell them Tell them whatever you usually tell them.
And a man can dream of a simple life, husband, child, and wife, love and faith all round. Then a man can wait, stand and greet the day, see what comes his way, feed upon the ground.
There's a man who no one sees. There's a man who lives alone. There's a heart that beats in silence for the life he's never known.
Now, let's see, Colin. When we left off last night, the hideous dragon had carried the maid to his cave by moonlight. He gnashed his teeth. He breathed his fire. The heath quaked, and we trembled in fear. I said someone must save this sweet raven-haired maiden, though surely the cost will be steep. So we lads all drew lots, our insides tied in knots, and I won, and the rest went to sleep. So I picked up my staff and I followed the trail of the smoke to the mouth of his cave. And I bid him come out, here forsooth I did shout, "Ye foul dragon, begone, or behave." And then under my breath I uttered a charm, said to make the worst fiend become kind. Knaves and knights of dire lights now diminished his sights, and it worked, and the dragon went blind. And he charged off the cliff, howling mad, and he died, and the maiden accepted my ring. And then you came along, and were brave, bold, and strong, and in thanks every night now I sing. Race you to the top of the morning, come sit on my shoulders and ride. Run and hide, I'll come and find you. Climb hills to remind you I love you, my boy, at your side. Now another foul dragon's appeared. I must leave you. He's scorching the land with his breath. From his lair this one taunts me, he dares me, hunts me. Once again we must fight to the death. Would to God I could stay and instead slay your dragon, this beast who sits hunched on your back. Would to God I could rent him away from your bed, or cut off or tear off his terrible head, or breathe out my fire on him till he was dead, or bear him to spare you and take me instead. As it is, I must leave you in care of my brother. Who is it who lives on the hill? Who has promised his art will soon pierce through the heart of this dragon that's keeping you ill. And I know that your mother, God bless her, would want you to do as he says and grow strong. And you know that as soon as I can I'll return. So be brave, son, and know that I long to race you to the top of the morning. Come sit on my shoulders and ride. Run and hide, I'll come and find you. Climb hills to remind you I love you. I love you, my
along, love, come fly away, fly along, come along, fly away home. Come along, love, you've come a long way, you've flown all the day, come fly away home.
It's a maze, this garden, it's a maze of paths meant to lead us all astray.
Take a left and then turning left again, how a soul may find the way.
Hey up. Hello there, Mary.
Hey up. Hello there.
But why are you in such a bad temper? Are you weary of looking for the key?
No, I found the key.
You did? So I see. You're weary of looking for the door.
I'm not weary, Dicken. I found the door too. The garden is dead.
No.
It is. It's all dead.
Well, a lot of things what looks dead is just biding their time. Now you tell me exactly what you saw.
It was cold and grey. The earth was grey, the trees were grey, and there was this clingy kind of haze over everything.
Like a body you were in a dream.
It was the most forgotten place I've ever seen, with loose grey branches moved around the trees like ropes of snakes, and dead roots and leaves all tangled up on the ground. So still and cold.
But did you take a good look at anything, Mary? Did you scrape away a bit of bark and take a real close look? The strongest roses fair thrive on being neglected, as long as the soil's rich enough. They'll all run wild, spread and spread till they're a wonder.
You mean the garden might be alive? But how can you tell?
Oh, I can tell if the thing is wick.
Wick? I've heard Ben say wick.
When a thing is wick, it has a life about it. Maybe not a life like you or me, but somewhere there's a secret streak of green inside it. Now come and let me show you what I mean. When a thing is wick, it has a light around it. Maybe not a light that you can see, but hiding down below, sparks asleep inside it, just waiting for the right time to be seen. You clear away the dead parts so the tender buds can form. Loosen off the earth and let the roots get warm. Let the roots get warm. When a thing is wick, it has a way of knowing when it's safe to grow again. You will see, with sun and water sweet enough to feed it, it will rise through the earth a pale new green. You clear away the dead parts so the tender buds can form. Loosen up the earth and let the roots get warm. Let the roots get warm. On a mild day, come a warm rain, come a snowdrop, not coming up. Come a lily, come a lilac, come to fall, calling all of us to come and see.
The thing is awake and someone cares about it, and goes to work each day like you and me. Will it grow?
It will.
Then have no doubt about it. We'll have the grandest garden ever seen. Oh, Dicken, I want it all to be wick. Would you come and look at it with me?
I will come, Mary, any day, rain or shine. All this garden needs is for someone to come and wake it up.
But Dicken, what if we save the garden and Uncle Archie takes it back? Oh, Colin wants it.
Ah, what a miracle that'd be for a poor crippled boy to see his mother's garden. Give a living thing a little chance to grow. That's how you will know if she is wick, she'll grow. So grow to greet the morning, free from down below. When our thing is wick, it has the will to grow and grow.
Come a mild day, come a warm rain, come a snowdrop a coming up. Come a lily,
up his staff and he followed the trail of the smoke to the mouth of the cave. And he bid him come out, yea, forsooth he did shout, yea, full dragon, be gone, or behave.
Stop looking at me, I hate you! You're horrible and ugly under that haystack you call your hair.
Master Colin, please, nurses are trying.
If she won't close her eyes when she's in my presence, I will have her fired. Go away, go away, go away!
Master Colin, please, nurses are trying to give you your supper.
Martha, what is going on in here?
Isn't anybody going to stop that boy?
She is not to go near him, Martha. Those are the doctor's direct orders.
What did it hurt, Mom? He likes Mary. Let's have a go at him.
No, Martha.
Colin Craven, you stop that screaming! Get away from me! I hate you! Everybody hates you! You're going to scream yourself to death in a minute, and I wish you would! Get out of my hands! I won't! You stop! I can't stop! I felt a lump on my back. I'm going to die! There is nothing the matter with your horrid back! I'm going to have a lump on my back like my father and die! Martha, show me the lump, this minute!
I can't, Mary, you won't let
Show
me.
her the lump! Now feel it.
There.
Where?
Right there.
No, there's not a single lump there, except for backbone lumps, and they're supposed to be there. See? I have them too.
It's not there.
No, it's not.
It's not there.
You were just mad at me for not coming back when I said I would, weren't you?
Maybe.
You were, and you know it.
I'll leave you two alone, I think.
This is nice.
I'm sorry I said all those things about sending Dicken away. I just got so angry when you wanted to be with him instead of me. And then when he didn't come back like you said you would.
I was always coming back, Colin. It just... I'm as lonely as you are. And it just took me longer than I thought, because...
Because what?
Do you promise not to tell if I tell you?
I've never had a secret before. Except that I wasn't going to grow up.
I found your mother's garden.
Do you mean a secret garden? I've dreamed about a secret garden.
It's been locked up out there, just like you've been locked up in here, for 10 years. Your father didn't want anybody going inside it, only I found the key. And last night, when Dr. Craven and Mrs. Medlock caught us here together, I ran out into the storm and found the door. And every day since, Dicken and I have been working on it. And you can come too.
What does it look like?
Well, right now it doesn't look like much. There's this tangle of vines all over everything because nobody's been taking care of it. But Dicken says if we clear away all the dead wood, we'll have fountains of roses by summer.
I never wanted to see anything like I want to see that garden.
You must see it. But nobody can ever know about it, or Ben says Dr. Craven might send me away.
No, Mary.
Maybe William can take you out in your wheelchair, and when nobody's looking, he'll push you through the maze into the garden.
I can't, Mary. I'll take a chill if I go. I'll get even worse.
No, you won't. You'll feel better.
I can't, Mary. I'm afraid. I've been in this bed for so long, and I don't want to die.
Just one black snake in this girl. I'm afraid there's no one left. Sorry, miss.
I want to grow up, Mary, so I can't get sick. I'd like to see the garden. Really, I would. But I can't.
All right, then. You just let me know when you're ready to see it, and I'll tell William.
You must come back tomorrow afternoon after you're through working and tell me everything you've done.
I'd like that. Good night, then.
Good night, Mary.
Come to my
been missing you at this hour.
But if it's so dark and I can't even see where I'm going, how am I going to see what it is once I get there?
I can't say. Perhaps it's something you're only meant to hear.
But all I can hear is my own self talking.
Then perhaps it's best to be still.
That's you!
Aye, it is, and Martha too.
Ay, dear Lord, Martha, are you surprised to see me out in the middle of the night? Not I am, Master Cole, but just now you look so much like your mother and made my heart jump. Martha, come look.
It's my mother's garden, it is. It's a secret garden, and we're the only ones in the world that want it to be alive.
Aye, Colin, we'll have you walking around and digging like other folk before long.
But how can I? My legs are so weak, I'm afraid to.
Colin, there's a charm in this garden. And the longer you stay in it, the stronger you'll be.
What kind of charm? Where did you learn that? I don't know. I didn't even know I knew it. Martha, do you believe in spells and charms?
That I do, Master Colin, and spirits, and the big good thing by whatever name you call it.
Now I know where I heard it. I even know what it means. Go on then. Come spirit, come charm, come days that are warm, come magical spell, come help him get well.
Spirit, come charm, come days that are warm, come magical spell, come help him get well.
Come spirit, come charm, come days that are warm, come magical spell, come help him get well.
young Master Colin, the poor cripple. But Lord knows how you got out here.
I'm not crippled.
Well, then what have you been doing hiding out and letting folks think you're a cripple? And half-witted.
Half-witted? Weatherstaff, come here. I want to talk to you. And don't you dare say a word about this.
I'm your servant as long as I live, your master.
Did you know my mother?
That I did. I was her right hand around the gardens. Even now I'm only kept on because she liked me. She said to me once, Ben, if I'm ever ill or if I must go away, you have to take care of my roses. When she did go away, orders was no one was to come in here. But I come anyway, till my back started me, about 2 years ago.
I want to know how she died.
She was sitting right there on that branch, and it broke, and that started her laboring this week. Except the fall had hurt her bone. Still, she clung on to life till you were born, put you in your father's arms, and died.
Is that why my father hates me?
I'm sure he doesn't hate you, lad.
He doesn't even know you. Just wait until he finds out you can stand.
No, I don't want anything said to him until I can walk. Do you promise?
It's getting to be a full-time job keeping track of all the secrets around here.
This is serious matter. Mary, take my hand. Dicken, Martha, you two, Ben. Do you swear by the charm in this garden that not one of you will say a word about this to anyone until I am completely well?
I call that I do.
I promise.
Good then.
So, what do you want to see first?
I want to see the roses. Show me where the roses will be.
Well, Mrs. Medlock, what a fine morning this has turned out to be.
Yes, Doctor.
I trust this headmistress will be quite impressed riding across the moor on such a day. Perhaps you could even join me for tea. I dare say she might relish a bit of civilized conversation, living as she does in the company of spinsters and orphaned girls.
I'm sure she'd be quite flattered by your attention, sir.
Beg pardon, Doctor. It's Miss Winthrop.
Ah, yes, come in, madam. Do come in, please.
Good day.
Doctor,
And this is our housekeeper, Mrs. Medlock.
how do you do?
I trust you had a pleasant journey.
Actually not. I have always found scenery by itself to be quite tiresome.
Well then, you'll be relieved to find we have contrived to keep all the scenery outdoors. Won't you sit down? I filled out all the forms you sent us. I think you'll see my brother has included a contribution to the school's building fund. You didn't request it, of course, but as I told my brother, I'm sure you're in the planning stages of something or other. Miss Medlock, will you see what's keeping Mary?
I'm right here, sir.
Quite right. Here's our girl, Mary Lennox. This is Mrs. Winthrop of the Aberdeen School for Girls.
Good morning, Mary.
I don't want to go to a school.
Oh, but you do. A useless child never knows her worth, we say.
Well, my Uncle Archie...
Perhaps if you were to show her a little about the school, she'd see that there's no reason.
Certainly. And let me say that from the start that you are not on trial here. The Board of Trustees has already accepted your application.
Oh, that's good news indeed.
I won't go. You can't make me.
Mary Lennox!
That's quite all right, Doctor. This is exactly the type of behavior we are best equipped to handle.
My Uncle Archibald is the only one who says where I'm going, and he says I don't have to go to any stupid school.
She's just right. Children are quite often depressed after a tragedy such as she has suffered.
Of course, Doctor. Perhaps you would like to see some photographs of the girls at their work. I brought several samples of fine lace from which our girls are so...
I hate you! You're a horrible, ugly pig!
That's quite enough, young lady.
Your school is a filthy rat hole full of brats and dirty beds, and all anybody really does there is scrub
a medical problem.
Speak with Mary alone, Medlock.
Charles Mooche, I'm going outside.
You're going wherever I send you, young lady, and right now it's into that chair.
My Uncle Archie
Oh,
said...
for God's sakes, he doesn't care about you. All he wants is to never see you again. Why do you think he left without even saying goodbye to you?
Maybe he was in a hurry.
You drove him away. You remind him of his wife.
I look like my Aunt Lily?
Now it is my task to find you a suitable place to go so my brother can return. The next school I contact will send no representative. Your badge will catch and you will leave Saturday week.
But I can't leave now. Colin needs
The
me.
last thing the boy needs is you. Another month of trying to keep up with you, and we'll have to put him in a hospital, or worse.
No, you won't. He's much
You
better.
have no idea how ill he is. When Colin was born, the midwife didn't expect him to last a week. But I have kept him alive for 10 years. Only now he is in grave danger of relapse thanks to you.
But you haven't seen
Do you
him.
want him to be put in a hospital? Do you want him to die?
To die?
Yes, to die. If Colin is too active in this stage in his recovery, if you push him to take his first step too soon, before his heart is strong enough, he will not survive it. Do you understand, Mary? Colin's very life is in your hands. One moment he would be chatting away, and the next moment he would sink to the ground and die.
And die?
Yes, you have choices in your life. Colin does not. I will not see the boy put in a hospital for the rest of his life, or dead before his life even begins. You must go, and go you will. That's all I have to say to you. Well, why are you still standing here? Are you quite amused to learn of your power?
I didn't do anything. You locked him in his room.
You may go.
You don't want Colin to get well at all. You want him to die so you can have this house.
You will leave Saturday week. There's something here that I want. How dare she make this claim? Isn't it clear what I want to serve has been my aim? Still I have to wonder who I'd be if it all belonged to me. If they'd all disappear, I'd start again. I could be happy, then I'd live like other men. If they'd all disappear, I could be free, cut off from pain and loss. At last I'd be.
Mary, you had nothing to do with your uncle's leaving. It weren't you, child. Your uncle liked you. I know he did. Didn't he tell you you could have a garden? Didn't he send you clothes and bring you books? Well, didn't he?
But Colin's going to die, and it's all my fault.
And what have you done for Colin except get him to go outside every day, and get him to eat his food, and get him believing he can get strong again? I think you were just what Colin needed.
But you're not a doctor, Martha. Will you tell him I'm sorry when I'm gone, I mean? That I didn't want to leave him? That I didn't want to go?
I think you better tell him that yourself.
I can't. He'll just get all high and mighty and angry. And Dr. Craven might send him away too.
You're talking like you're already gone, Mary.
I am gone, Martha. I wish I were a ghost.
No ghost could do what you've done in this house, Mary. What you've got to do is finish what you have begun. I don't know just how, but it's not over till you've won. When you see the storm is coming, see the lightning part the skies, it's too late to run. There's terror in your eyes. What you do then is remember this old thing you heard me say. It's the storm, not you, that's bound to blow away. Hold on to someone standing by. Hold on, don't even ask how long or why. Child, hold on to what you know is true. Hold on till you get through. Child, oh child.
should I do?
I think you should find a pen and paper and write to your uncle in Paris and tell him to come home. I think you should let Colin's father say whether he likes him standing or not.
But why would he listen to me? And what if the letter doesn't get there in time?
I'm sure your uncle will send for you as soon as he sees what you've done for the boy. Now, here's some paper and here's a pen. You do know how to write, I hope, because I wouldn't be much help to you in that department.
A little.
That's all right. You don't have much to say, now do you?
T-E-A-R, Uncle Archie, how are you? I'm fine. Everybody else is too. Please come home.
I have no home.
Mama says that you're in Paris. Is that very far away?
It's a house, child, just a house.
They have nice girls and boys there.
I can't get far enough away from it.
Please come home.
Now just silent.
Should I say that Colin's well known?
Streets of Paris like a maze.
Should I say that Dr. Craven?
Sleepless nights and aimless days.
I think that what you have is good. Let's get it posted on its way. He'll rush home, then you can tell him all the rest you have to say.
Oh, kind sir, Uncle Archie, how I wish that
Sleep
you
or
would
live.
when you come into the garden. Please come home. Yours truly,
Maybe.
sincerely. Oh, how about your friend
Now I see you in the window of a carriage and a train. Still my mind will not accept that in your grave you must remain. Now I hear your voice and turn and see a stranger's form and face. Must I wander on tormented place to place to place to place? Where can I go that you won't find me? Why can't I find a place to hide? Why do you have to haunt me every step I take? You're there beside me. Where in the world, tell me where in the world can I live without your love? Where on the earth, tell me where on the earth should I stay now that you are gone? Why did I have to meet you, love you? Why can't I rid you from my mind? Why did you have to want me? Won't you let me leave my life behind me? How in the world, tell me how in the world can I live without your love? Why on the earth, tell me why on the earth should I stay now that you are gone? Now that you are Lily? Is that
your garden grow.
I'm not contrary. You take that. You
Yeah.
make me.
I've got you now, Colin Craven.
Archie, why didn't you cable us you were coming?
I didn't quite know myself, Neville.
What on earth is all that noise?
Don't take lies, Master. Here we come. Colin Craven, not so fast.
Mary Lennox!
Father, look at me. I'm well.
Colin, my fine, brave boy. Can you ever forgive me?
It was the garden that did it, Father, and Mary, and Dicken, and some sort of charm that came up out of the ground.
Neville, were you hoping to surprise me with this news?
I knew they were looking better, but I had no idea.
We didn't want you to know. We were afraid you wouldn't let us come to the garden if you knew.
But how did you?
William carried me down the stairs until...
But what have you eaten? You haven't touched the food we've sent to your rooms for weeks.
Martha brought us food. We ate in the garden. We ate enough for 10 children.
You did you?
Oh, cakes and roasted eggs and fresh milk.
It was all terribly confusing, Archie, after all these years for them to
I'm
find
sure it was quite confusing. Neville, why don't you take my flat in Paris and stay as long as you like? And when you return, perhaps you will allow me to help you re-establish your practice in town, if you like, so that you may resume your life free of this enormous burden you have carried on our behalf.
Thank you, Archie.
And will you stay home with us?
Colin, look at you.
It was Ben that took care of the garden, Father, until we could get here.
I knew that it was against your orders, sir, but
As I recall, it was Lily who told you to take care of the garden. Well done.
thank you, sir.
And it was Dicken who...
Yes, I can imagine. Dicken, if there's ever anything we can...
Sir, what is to become of our Mary?
Why, Mary Lennox.
Here's your key, sir. If you want it back. I'd have never found it if you...
Wait, Mary Lennox. I had nearly forgotten you and all this.
It's hard to remember everybody, sir.
No, it isn't. 3 isn't very many people to remember at all. I should be able to remember 3 people quite easily.
Would I be one of them?
Mary Lennox, for as long as you will have us, Colin and I, we are yours. This is your home. And this, my lovely child, this is your garden.